This program contains coarse language, offensive content, and is unfit for consumption by those whose feelings and sentiments can be hurt. No one but you are liable for any outrage or hurt that you claim is caused by your voluntary viewership.
इस कार्यक्रम में अभद्र भाषा का प्रयोग और कमजोर भावनाओं को आहत करने की क्षमता है। यदि इसे देखकर या इसको देखने के बाद अकेले बैठकर इसके बारे में सोचने भर से ही आपको गुस्सा आता है, तो उसके जिम्मेदार आप खुद हैं।
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming out. We are about to begin the show, so kindly keep your phones on silent or switched off. And now, with a huge round of applause, please welcome on stage your only act for the evening, Kunal Kamra.
Whoa. Whoa. Let's check if I'm still funny. Thank you for coming. What's up? Right? Nice. Sorry to be on time. So much fucking free time, I don't know what to do. I'm always on time because this is, I don't know, is this a job? No. I'm always on time. And I'm not angry anymore at people who are late and all. I think they have a life, they work and all, they come and how can I be like, Arey, how are you late? Arey, of course you are late. You have to work and all. I'm just fucking around. I will be on time. Where else do I go? I was waiting since the morning. Come. Come. There is space here, there is space there. Yeah, settle down. Chill, yeah. Someone else is sitting who's late? Yeah. You're saving it for someone later than them. Nice. See, I'm a very chill guy. After being non-chill for a very long time, now I'm chill. I don't care. So use your phone, enjoy yourself. Why should I tell you? Don't enjoy yourself. That's also Who the fuck am I? Hi. Sorry, we had to start on time and all these. Look at these jobless non-planners. You come here. And that announcement about your cell phone and all is rubbish. Switch it on. Don't switch off your cell phone and all. Whatever. There's something more important probably. This is nothing serious is going on here. This is a comedy show as far as I know. So no need to put your phone on silent and all of that. And it's very hypocritical when artists tell you put your phone on silent. What a bunch of hypocrites. You exist because of your phone. You know me because you have a phone. You booked the tickets on the phone. You saw my work on the phone. You used Google Maps to come here. And now all of a sudden I'm like, switch off your phone. Such a hypocritical thing. But if you go to a classical musical show or something like that, then switch off your phone. Because those fuckers are serious. And in there, if your phone rings, they will seriously throw you out. Because it could be making a better music than whatever the fuck. You are interfering in their profession. So then that's not good. Hey, no problem. Something urgent? I can pause the show. Don't look at me any differently as a YouTube video. You are in the metaverse. Just say pause. Come, sir. Are you this person's friend, I'm guessing? Come. Yeah, this guy. Stand up. What's his name? Suhas. Here. He's reserved you seats. 2-3 people were going to sit. He was like, fuck off, my friend Suhas. My friend Suhas is coming, he's upper caste, we reserve. This is the actual reservation. I just did one joke. Should I repeat it for you? It's okay, na? Yeah. If this was North India, people would say, "Bhaiya, batao na kya bola?" I'm proud of Maharashtra. Any Muslims here? I'm sorry. Not because I'm Hindu. Because you are Muslim. You have only one life. Many wives, but only one life. Okay, one life, that will do this life. Make an Aadhaar, find your documents, all that. I'm Hindu. I have more than one life. It's God's way of saying, beta, Bharat chhod de, ek aur chance de raha hu. इस बार इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट के पास प्लेस किया है तुझे, बाकी देख लेना. I don't know if you guys know that from the time Rajiv Gandhi got the computer to India, he got it with his own hands. Hindus have been emailing NASA saying the universe has a sound, which is Om. And NASA has been trying to explain, we are not a radio station. We don't record sounds and all. So we don't know. Hindus are like, Arey, we know. The sound is the universe's home. Declare it. NASA is like, how do we don't know, but they are like, see, either you know or prove us wrong. NASA stopped replying. They took the same offer to Rakesh Roshan. He was like, yeah. I can't prove you wrong, so universe is home. The universe has to have a sound. I don't disagree with that. And Hindus, of course, contribute to it. India does, right? We are the second largest population on the planet. And the first largest population on the planet are the Chinese. They only whisper. We make sure we are heard. So the sound contribution is ours. I just don't think it's home. I just think it's a billion people on their cell phone saying, "Raaste mein hu, aa raha hu." एक और बार फोन मत कर, नहीं तो और लेट आऊंगा. It's beautiful. Right? Amazing. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of my country for what they are. Our country is a problem-solving, advice-giving nation. Appreciate that. You can go to anybody for advice and they will give you advice. Go on a Saturday night. This one guy is drunk. He's peeing on the wall which says, "Don't pee here." He's like, fuck this wall. You will tell me what to do. He's peeing there, drunk, out of his wits. You can go to this person and be like, "Sir, मेरे life में ना थोड़ा problem चल रहा है." He'll be like, "एक second, मूत के आता हूँ मैं." Be with you shortly. Every Indian has advice, which is simple advice. Indians give simple advice. It's in two parts. Be like someone who already exists. That's one part. Second part is do something that's already been done. I'm on the be like part. Be like. Then they say, be like, beta, be like Raju Srivastava na. Make us laugh also. Firstly, telling me that I don't make them laugh currently. I have to be like Raju Srivastava to do that. My own family telling me this. While I'm the only person from my family who's made it to a newspaper, nobody else has. They don't have any scope also. Unless they die in a terrorist attack or whatever. plane crash or something like that. They would never come to the newspaper. But still they are giving me advice. This is confidence. I appreciate. Be like Raju Srivastav. Then you go to a house party, you meet the other version of this. There is one guy who always meets you and he's like, "You're that comedian, right?" I'm like, yeah. I am that comedian. Sums up my entire career so well. That comedian. Should be on my tombstone. People will be like, "Who died?" I'm like, "That comedian." I'm just clarifying, I won't have a tombstone. I'll die the Hindu way. No stone, nothing. I'm just not going to give people wrong ideas. He says, "You are that comedian." I'm like, yes, I am. Then he says, "Why don't you, be like Treva Nova?" No, Treva Nova is a South African guy. He moved to America. He's 50 times my net worth. Just because he's African descent, he's 50 times. If he was white, he would be 100 times. But he's 50 times my net worth. They're like, "Why don't you be like..." Like, I have a strong opposition against this Treva Nova. He doesn't want me to be like Treva Nova. He just wants to tell me he knows Treva Nova. He's like, "You are a comedian? Ah, you are that comedian, okay. I've seen Treva Nova." Then I'm compelled to ask this person, "Sir, what do you do?" "What do you do, sir?" He's like, "I'm an engineer. I work in L&T. I'm like, wow, I've never met an engineer before. So unique. Every third person I meet is a comedian. You first engineer I've met in... I don't know how many years before I met an engineer. I've never met one. What a unique job you have. That also L&T, new company I've never heard of. I've never heard of L&T. Have you heard of it? I don't know what is L&T. He says we are into building roads and highways and I said, "Oh, nice." I'm like, then why don't you build the ultimate fetish of this country? A bridge from India to Sri Lanka. What are you doing at this house party? Why don't you do that thing? You'll be remembered in history forever. I may not be like Treva Nova, but you are an engineer. You can build that bridge. He's like, "But I'm not interested in my job." I'm like, "Of course, because you are interested in my job." How would you be interested in two jobs at one time? It would be tough. Right? This guy be like Treva Nova. Once I met a guy at a house party. My God, he was a 55-year-old guy or something. Something like you, uncle. Yes. I'm complimenting you. You are above 55, I know. He is, nah. Cutie. Thank you for coming for my show. Actually, you all are the actual enemy of me. But it's okay. Your group. I'm sure in your WhatsApp group, most people are abusing me. I'm right, nah? I know. But you've seen that poster of all fishes coming this side and you are that fish that goes. Winners do things different. Shut. I know. Yeah, there was this one. I met a 55-year-old guy at a house party. He looked at me and he was like, "What do you do?" I was like, "I'm not prepared for that question." Nobody's asked me this. I felt like falling in his feet. Because if he doesn't know what I do, how will he give me any advice? "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a stand-up comedian." He said, "Nice. Great. I'm waiting for advice." He asked one more question. What sort of comedy you do? I'm like, my God. It's like, my God. Interested in the art form, not in my caste or Twitter following. I was like, fuck this, falling in his feet is too little. Sir, come here, I'll give you hand job. Get your 57-year-old cock here. Just. What sort of comedy you do? My God. Nobody has asked me this. What sort of comedy you do? I was like the funny one. He laughed. I was like, my God, sense of humor also. I don't know. Is there a place that can turn you gay? I want to. This man deserves. What sort of comedy? My God. And then he was like, yeah, I was in London for 30 years. Every weekend I used to watch stand-up comedy. I was like, amazing. And he was like, my favorite genre of comedy is satire. I was like, oh, nice. Why? He was like, because satire is so powerful. It's just a weapon almost, where it tells men that they hold a lot of power. It amuses them, corrects them, and makes them better people. I was like, इतना तो मुझे भी नहीं पता है. Hand job is very less. I've bumped you up to blow job. I will suck that 55-year-old. I was so impressed with the man. I was like, my God. Then he said, I don't know if you've heard of this Indian comedian. You must do something like him, like this guy. I don't know. Like, just try and be like Kunal Kamra, man. And then I was like, thank God I didn't give you a blowjob. I would have had to slap your cock in the middle of it. He's asking me to be like me. But still he's asking me to be like. The disease continues without cure. Be like Kunal Kamra. And then he was like, wait, I'll show you a video. I said, no, I've seen. It's quite a sellout if you ask me. Be like. First genre of advice. Second genre of advice is do something that's already been done. Na? Why take risk? Do you know what to do? No. Do engineering. Engineering. Every Indian is doing engineering like they're trying to attain collective consciousness. There is a spiritual masturbator. His most popular book is called Inner Engineering. That means if you have to go inner also, first you have to be an engineer. Without that, what is their inner, what is their outer? It's like a family member saying, पहले engineering तो कर लो, फिर ये inner outer करते रहना. Everybody who doesn't know what to do does engineering. Nobody asked, do we need so many engineers? No questions asked. Everybody is engineering. After engineering has happened, engineering is over, family is here. ये तो हो गया. आगे का क्या प्लान है? And you are like, ये सही है गुरु. Engineering कराओ तुम. आगे का प्लान बताए हम. क्या प्लान होगा? जॉब होगा, कॉर्पोरेट जाओगे. जॉब लग गई, अच्छी बात है. जाओ, ऑफिस जाओ, 4 साल सीखो. क्या करना है वहाँ? किससे पूछना है? How was your weekend? Very important. Don't ask everybody. Ask the important people. How was your weekend? Don't ask the pantry boy and all. That's not what corporate teaches you. Ask boss, the senior. How was your weekend, sir? Then fake care. That also you have to do in the first 4-5 years of corporate life. Na? Somebody will be like, my father is sick. You have to pretend like you've never heard about this phenomena. The first father who's sick in your entire life, you'll be like, what? Your father's. And 2 days later, how's your father? You're like, now he's fine. Oh, he's. Thank God he's fine. You do all of this for 4-5 years. You've mastered it. Everything is sorted in life. Then you are 25. Family is back. Boss. And then you are like, bhai, iske aage kya? And then they're like, see, now you are settled. Now we want to further settle you. Get married. And then you are like, I don't know what to do. So I did engineering. Then I didn't know what to do. I did job. Now I don't know what to do again. Let's get married. Anybody in India, if you have a job, get married. If you don't have a job, same advice, get married. If you have a job, you are settled, we'll further settle you. If you don't have a job, first you get settled, then you will get further settled. If you don't have a job, get married. You are like, but I don't have a job. You're like, beta, once you get married, na, you will have to stay outside the house 10 hours every day. Otherwise, how will the marriage work? We'll call it job. Don't worry, go for it. Then you are married. Then you are learning the same corporate politics in bedroom. She's like, my father is unwell. You are like, and after 2 days, she's like, my father is okay. Then 2 years, you figured out bedroom politics. Mastered it. You are like a fucking man. अब तो हो गया. सब मालूम है अपने क्या करना है, किसको वीकेंड पूछना है, क्या है, ये सब सीन सेट है. One day you are having muesli, breakfast. Your mother is bang opposite, trying to make eye contact with you. You are like, fuck this eye contact. You know, this. Does your penis work or not? है कुछ के नहीं है? It's been 2 years. Where is the baby? Relatives are asking, does this cock work or not? What do we tell them? What do we tell them? I can do tests. You can send results. Test result. We want to send badam pista. Baby. And you are like, my God. But this makes sense. These motherfuckers ruined my life. I'm an engineer. My religion is anyway carbon footprint. I'll produce carbon footprint. What is more carbon footprint than a living human being? In 1 year, baby comes. Everybody is like, hey, cock worked. Sending badam pista everywhere. Cock is working. Cock has worked. What has happened? You know what has happened? Cock worked. Relatives come, they're like, wow, worked. One relative takes the baby in hand, he's just like, laude ne kya kaam kiya? Then you figure out baby politics. Baby politics is also there. Baby politics solves one big politics. Every day on WhatsApp, you have to change DP. One day with mother, one day with wife, one day with mother, one day with wife, one day with mother, one day. Baby comes, then you are like, fuck, this is sorted. Every day with the same baby. WhatsApp issue sorted. No lafda, yeah. Now I'm finally settled, more settled. Khatam game. After 3 years, family is back. They're like, I have one more kid, yeah. You are like, just because I'm an engineer, do I have to create more and more carbon footprint? Why one more kid? One kid is. It's not like an AC, it doesn't have to be in every room. One in the living room is okay. Have one more kid. For what reason? One more kid. And then relatives are like, listen, boss, who will this kid play with? In a country of 1.3 billion people, lonely kids have been our biggest issue. These kids are lonely. They are playing cricket alone. They don't even know 11 people are needed. They are throwing the ball, hitting it, getting it back, crying. My papa's cock worked only once. And my thing is, I've been alive for 33 years. I have never seen two kids from the same parents play. When is that event happening? No, it is bigger than any World Cup. They don't play, they fight for love, attention. Then when they grow up, money, property, they get married, their wives fight with each other. What have they got to do? They're just like, no, it's some UN diplomatic treaty. मेरे दोस्त का दोस्त मेरा दोस्त मेरे दोस्त का दुश्मन मेरा दुश्मन. They're also fighting. Then they have two kids each because who will the first kid play with? Then the fight is outsourced to lawyers. And then they go to the same beautiful building. This is the most beautiful building in the country. It gets you married. It gets you divorced. It gets your property divided. It gets everything done. This court. Don't call it court. Call it L'Oreal. 5 problems, 1 solution. Yeah. Go there to get married. You will go there, of course, to get married. Why not? No questions asked. Mithai kaun si laaye ho? You give mithai, you sign, and all. You take a photo. You want to get divorced? It can take a long time. I don't know how long it can take. First one judge comes, he's like, 6 mahine alag reh ke dekho. And in that 6 months, the judge is only conked off. He died. Now another judge comes. He's like, अरे एक काम करो 6 महीना आप लोग साथ कुल्लू मनाली जाओ फिर डिसाइड करते हैं. And then you're like, गांडू ऐसा ऑप्शन शादी के पहला क्यों नहीं दिया? इसके साथ अभी कैसा जाओ कुल्लू मनाली? तभी मन था कुल्लू मनाली जाने का. Yeah, this is the game that goes on. People have statistics in this marriage divorce game. They say marriages that happen in the religion and in the caste and that are arranged by parents don't go through divorces. And I'm like, जो चूती है अपनी मर्जी से शादी नहीं कर पाए वो डिवोर्स क्या घंटा लेंगे? But sometimes you think, what is the root cause of this nonsense, right? I think you can trace it back to this one person, this one guy who's like this modern day father of India. You guys are born after 2000s? Like, yeah, all of you all, yeah. Then he may be your father also. Just you don't know. He psychologically has put the seed of family in your family. Yeah, if you are born after 2000, could be your father. This modern day philosopher called Karan Johar. Yeah, you are born after Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. You are all his children. If you ever have problem in life, write to Karan Johar to solve it. He is responsible for this nuisance because he makes garbage films and in which he tells you, love your family always. जो भी हुआ अपने हैं, प्यार करो इनसे. अरे boss, you love your family. I can see why you love your family. Your father left you 300 crores. They accepted you. They love you. You should also love them. Why are you telling us? And who made Karan Johar our spokesperson? I don't get it. 3 people in his family. 4 bathrooms in his house. 2 bathrooms in our house. 13 people in our family. Loving in that environment is difficult. But Karan Johar, love your family. I think he doesn't love his family enough. Every movie of his is utter garbage. And before that 2.5 hours of garbage, he just gives a 4-second slide of Miss You Papa. 300 crores. 4 seconds. Your father left 300 crores. My father left 300 crores. I would hire people to miss him. Unemployed youths can't get a job. Come. Miss my father. 9 to 5. Form a team. 22 people. All miss my father. Wherever you are, miss him. Yeah, work from home, work from anywhere. You will be sitting somewhere in a park missing Karan Johar's father. Some uncle will come and be like, "Beta, kuch naukri bhi karte ho ya aise hi time pass?" And you'll be like, "Chup, gandu bute, chup. I am a CMO at Karan Johar Productions. Chief Missing Officer." 300 crores, 4 seconds. Disgusting. If my father left even 3 crores, I'd tattoo it on my head. Like, missing you, Papa, always. In 3 different languages. Need no confusion. Hindi, English, and Japanese. Because is it even a tattoo if it's not in Japanese? I love India because India is the only country where they tell you the story and they tell you the moral of the story. They're like, ज़्यादा सोचो मत, यही moral है, और कुछ निकालना मत. Yeah, so I must tell you at this point. I must tell you something that is I've not told you in ever that, but I should tell you now. I don't do stand-up for money anymore. Life is sorted. Your money is not needed. Your participation I like. Because I like doing stand-up comedy. Then you are like, why did you take money for this show? Logical question. How do I confirm your attendance? If you have paid, you will come. If you have not paid, your back is aching, your neck is paining. Man nahi ho raha hai. Now you are pain. Man ho raha hai. That is why I have to charge, otherwise I don't need the money. I have a very rich childhood friend. When I was 7 years old, his father bought me my first cycle. Yeah, he was on a cycle. He asked me, why are you not on a cycle? I said, because my father has a value system, so he has no money. He said, my father has no value system, so he has all the money. So I said, oh my God. Beautiful. He said, I told him, you can take value system from my father. He gives it free of cost after he comes back. He said, you can take cycle from my father. The cost doesn't matter to him at all. When we discussed this, then we decided we'll be friends for life. Yeah, my side gets the philosophy. His side gets the cash. It's done. Life is sorted because his father is very rich, apparently self-made. Yeah. He gave birth to himself. Just one day walked out of somebody's watch. Oh yeah, man. And his father, because his son is like very cool and all. So his father is very upset. He's like, you are not joining the family business. Son is like, I don't care. The other day he called me. He was like, bro, shit has hit the roof. I was like, really? It must have. Your roof is also 18 feet above. Must have hit the roof. My roof, I can touch. This is my roof. What happened? He said, my father is cancelling all the cards. I said, yeah, it has hit the roof. For me also. So, what is the plan? He said, I'm coming to yours. I said, call it ours. You've been paying the rent for 4 years. He said, Tera kya, mera kya? I said, Aaja fir. Then he was like, joint bana मैं आ रहा हूँ. I was like, of course मैं बनाता हूँ. मेरा बाप कौन सा शाहरुख खान है? किसको? Then I started rolling the joint. I rolled the joint. Joint was ready. He came after half an hour. My doorbell rang. I opened the door. He was there with his father. And then I was like, this is fucked up. Because joint तो मैंने 2 लोगों के लिए बनाया है. And it didn't feel like he was there to smoke the joint or anything. I felt like he has different agendas. I opened the door. I was like, hi, uncle. His father never said hi also. Because he's firstly walked 3 floors without lift in a suburban building with his pointed shoes. He's already upset. They come in. I'm trying to ask my friend, what is this about? He's trying to tell me. I'm like, Gandu, bol. He's like, bro, today is decision. Decision. We decide. Done. Decision. I said, okay, aage bol. I've told him that if he convinces you that I should join the family business, I'm joining. Done, boss. Done. Done. I'm like, you are outsourcing your assholery. Haven't you been enough of a dick to your father? Now you want me also? His father is upset. He's looking at me and he's like, apparently, I have to convince you that he should join the family business. Why don't you tell me why he shouldn't? Let's start there. I'm like, uncle, just because you have 100 crore, that doesn't mean debates will work differently. First, you present your point. Then I'll counter it. You tell me why should he join the business. I'll counter. He said, he is my only son. I'm like, uncle, I know him 26 years. Wouldn't it be fucked up if you hid a son from both of us? One more son, just in the walk-in wardrobe, roaming around for 26 years. Now comes out, I'm Aryaveer. Second son. Trump ka Trump. We're fucked up, right? We know he's your only son, and forget we. Whole society knows he's your only son. Everyone who knows you knows that he's your only son. He knows only that he's your only son. You have had 3 daughters before him. How can anyone not know he's your only son? Your engine didn't stop till this only son didn't come out. For that 1 year before he was born, you were secular. You went to every religious place. For only son. You had Shilajit and all, everything. Only son came. And then for 16 years, his identity was that he's the only son. So that is problematic. Because he is your only son and he's bearing the brunt of it. But you are also his only father. Can he create something and be like, now you run it? You are my only father, na? No, right? No. What has he ever created? Tell me. What has he created? He has an Instagram account. Can he give you ID password and be like, now you run it? It would be rude, right? You are on Instagram following all the trends, doing that 20-second reel of my back hurts, my back. Your board of directors would sack you. Your share price would drop by 50%. Father's like, listen, forget all of this. Tell me what your friend is capable of doing. Tell me what he's capable of doing. I'm like, uncle, he's capable of doing something that you are not capable of doing. That most people are not capable of doing. He's capable of doing nothing. He does nothing. I call him anytime, what are you doing? He says nothing. And he says, why should I do it? My father has done so much, I'll do nothing. Which is not bad. It's much better than doing something. And I can promise you, he will cost you very less if he's doing nothing. If he starts doing things, it's going to cost you more. That much I can guarantee. Then his father asked me, tell me something, you wise ass, tell me, who have I created this whole thing for? I said, uncle, if I have to reply to that, then you have to promise you won't cancel the cards. This is straightforward. This will pinch you, I know. He's like, no. Tell me, I won't do anything. Tell me. Who have I done this for? Oh, who? I said, for your ego. When you were 22, you were 5 feet 3 inches, which you are till now. The girl you liked, she was 5 feet 7 inches. She was a Air India stewardess. She married a pilot who was 6 feet 1 inches. Then you were like, I'll buy a plane. You were working very hard. By 27, you started balding with stress. Everybody in the building started teasing you, hey, chaman chikne. Chaman chikne. One guy was like, Aaja Ganjay, tere sar pe omelette banao. And then you are like, fuck this nonsense. I'll be the richest person and this and that. All these nonsense ideas you started feeding in your head. Yeah, from retailer to distributor, from distributor to manufacturer, from manufacturer to exporter. Now your business in 18 countries and your son is not even interested in one country. How will he? And don't look at me with so much anger. I'm not an astrologer. Your son only has told me all of this. Yeah, even the chawan chikne part. Not my fault. Father looks at me and he's like, Beta, do you know what my real problem is? Beta, do you know what? This change in tone. And I know what your real problem is, but first you have to accept your son is capable of doing nothing. You put an empty chair in your office, that will generate better revenue than this guy. He wants to smoke a joint at 6 in the morning. You will send him to representatives from other country. He is the hair. There are more capable people in your office who have done engineering. MBA and all. He's done nothing. Let him be there. He's a philosophy student. He's like, yeah. Beta, do you know what my real problem is? I said, uncle, I know. You just want to find out if he's capable of shutting the business when you die. Don't worry, uncle. You are Hindu. You will be born again. Don't stress about it. But we all have to die. And that's your problem. When you die, will he be able to shut the business down? Yes, for that, next 6 months, he will be coming with you, understanding how to shut your business down when you die. Sorted. My friend is like, bro, 6 months, thoda jada nahi. I'm like, Gando. Father agreed. Son went for 6 months. After that, he shifted to Goa. Now he's learning yoga from a foreigner. Because if a foreigner is not teaching you, is it even yoga? Now the father is my friend. I'm fine, the credit card is same, no problem. Why did I tell you this? You know, because every story has to have a moral of the story. See, I told you this, that I don't need your money. Why did I tell you I don't need your money? Because with your money come your expectations. I don't need your expectations. So stop looking at your watch. trying to figure out when will the political comedy start. I have never seen a country so together in missing a point. India is together. If you were hearing the show from the first word, you would know that there is no political comedy. But you were not hearing, you were waiting. I don't do political comedy because I realized I'm irrelevant. Once you are irrelevant, why do? Waste your time, waste their time, do just comedy, that's enough. I'm irrelevant. I'm trying to get attention of a guy. He's in his 70s. I'm in my youth. He's ignoring me for 6-7 years now. When this game started, I had more hair than him. He is growing hair at the age of 70. And I'm miserable at the age of 33. Then why should I do political comedy? Please explain. How irrelevant can one human being be? I have been ignored by everyone. The Narcotics Bureau, they have ignored me so much. They are going to Big Boss 7. Some actor's son. Somebody said ganja 3 years ago on WhatsApp. I'm smoking a joint on my Instagram live. Nobody's... Doorbell rings. I'm like, NCB. They're like, nahi, Swiggy. Nobody comes to my house. They just ignore me. I'm done being ignored. I met a guy on a flight. He ignored me on an India level. He's like, nation this, nation that. Entire nation saw that video. He never responded. He ignored me. And now in retrospect, when I see that video, I'm like, he's looking good. So no more ignorance. And shit has gotten bizarre, right? It has gotten so bizarre that I can't even comprehend it. Forget me, you guys, all of y'all can't comprehend it. I'm sure y'all have stopped watching the news because of your mental peace and sanity, right? 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 But you fuckers want me to watch it. You're like, my mental health, my mental peace and all is very important. But you tell me now, whatever happened in a joke format, tell na. What is this game we are playing? I met one guy in 2019 when I was peak political comedy mode. Yeah, all my shows were like Modi ji S hai, Modi ji West hai. Ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya. One guy came to me after the show. He's like, भैया आपका show देखा मजा आया. पर यार वोट ना उधर ही देना पड़ेगा. I was like, क्या है भाई? ऐसा क्या हो गया भाई? बैठ जा यार. क्या हुआ भाई? He's like, ये जो आप दर्द में कॉमेडी कर रहे हो ना, दर्द में, ये और 5 साल देखना है मुझे. If missing a point was an Olympic sport, I would give him above gold. He's missed the point more than I have missed Karan Johar's father. So what is the point? I'm not doing any political comedy. Fuck that nonsense. Supreme Court of this country, which I don't even... I respect a food court of a shopping mall more. Yeah, I respect. I'll go to a food court and I'll do this. At least it represents different cultures. The Supreme Court is a Brahman Banya affair. I don't respect it. The Supreme Court of India, when I said this, they put contempt of court on me. I said, okay, fine. I'll reply. My lawyer called. She was like, we have to apologize. I said, this is where your negotiating is starting. Okay. I'll send apology. 3 lines. I'll send it on WhatsApp. She was like, really? I was like, yeah. I'll send it. I sent her message. Dear Supreme Court, कल की बातें भूल जा, लवड़ा पकड़ के झूल जा. My lawyer is a very smart lady. To that WhatsApp message, she sent me photos of Yedwada jail. And then I was like, no, not. The joke is not worth it. What is this rhyming and all? Bhul ja, jhul ja, no. And then after they put a contempt court case, I wrote so much comedy, dissent, all of that. Of course, nobody read it. And then they also must have not read it. And now they are not giving me another date. Now they are ignoring me. It's like they are saying, "Arey ja rahi." Jo hua wo hua. So now what is the point of political comedy if I'm being ignored? And with political comedy, you get a lot of responsibilities, which makes you uncool. Like while I was doing political comedy, I was secular, which is one floor below cool. This is cool. This is secular and tolerant. Blah. Cool. Cool people do not have to say that they are secular and tolerant. Uncool people, they have to. If you attain cool, then no secular, no tolerant. Secular people are seen doing foolish things. Ultra foolish. Like my school friend, he claims to be secular. He is Muslim. Every Janmashtami, he uploads a photo of his kid dressed as Krishan Kanhaiya on the WhatsApp group. And he says, this is India. It is secular. The kid is crying in the photo. I'm like, this is a WhatsApp group. And your kid is upset. He's like, no, this is secularism. I said, you don't have to practice secularism. The majority does. You just live. And find your documents. Why is the secularism based on the minority to prove? It should be based on the majority to prove. I will think secularism is something when I see a Hindu kid on Bakri Eid dressed as a bakra. That act would be truly secular. Just the Hindu kid going meh, meh, happy Bakri. That would be secular, right? Yeah, so no secularism, no tolerance, no political comedy. But I'm sure you guys want some political comedy, right? I keep wanting. You've been wanting democracy and freedom also. I can't get why all come to comedy show to laugh in the first place. You're in India. You have window. Open it. There's laughter outside. If you open your window within 30 seconds, if you don't laugh, I will refund you this ticket amount. Just have a sense of humor. The other day I tried this. I opened my window. I can see a signal from my house. There was an Activa. It was ahead of the zebra crossing because zebra is a Western concept. I've never seen an Indian zebra. So why we have crossing? Activa is ahead of zebra crossing, signal is red, one guy is crossing the road, he is talking on the phone, but phone is on speaker, but he is doing this while talking and this while listening. He's talking to someone with some intense conversation on the phone. It's like he's almost angry. He's like, अरे किया है यार, नासा ने declare home है. आगे मत कर गांडो. And while shouting on the phone, this Activa guy is looking at the other way to some lady who's in the shopping arcade. And while he's looking like this guy is arguing on the phone. This guy rams into the Activa. A pedestrian rams into the bike. Activa guy falls down. One leg is under the Activa, one leg is above the Activa. Pedestrian is like, my God, what happened? I don't know what to do in this situation. Activa guy is like, my God, I also don't know what to do in this situation. Pedestrian is like, I'm prepared for when Activa hits me. Activa is like, I'm prepared for when I hit a pedestrian. Pedestrian guy is like, I have solution to this. One leg under the Activa, one leg above the Activa. He touches the leg, does this and goes. Activa guy is still with one leg down, one leg up. He's thinking, what do I tell my son? At least a Mercedes should be involved in this fracture. While going, a cabbie is asking, भैया क्या हुआ? सब ठीक तो है? He's like, मैं भी figure out करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. So this can happen from my window. So why you need comedy show? Don't come to comedy shows. My eventual job is that you develop sense of humor. Come not to laugh with someone, just to laugh alone. I talk to everyone. When I was in an Uber, going from Gurgaon to Noida, I sat in the Uber just to make small talk with Uber driver. I told him, भैया रास्ता बड़ा ही लंबा है नहीं. And he was like, sir आप चिंता मत कीजिए, गाड़ी में रॉड है. Like चिंता में तो मैं था नहीं, पर अब हूँ. रास्ता बड़ा लंबा है, गाड़ी में पेट्रोल हो, डीजल हो, सीएनजी हो, टायर में हवा हो, डिक्की में रॉड क्यों है? He like, सर डिक्की में नहीं है, फ्रंट सीट के नीचे ही. I'm like, सर एक सेकंड सर, क्यों है? He like, सर क्योंकि रास्ता बड़ा ही लंबा. अरे वो तो मैंने बोला था. He like, सर रॉड इसीलिए है, इतना लंबा रास्ता हम ट्रैवल करते हैं, कुछ भी हो सकता है. कुछ भी हो जाएगा, उसमें रॉड कैसे काम आएगा? कुछ भी होने में है, रॉड कैसे आपके? He's like, सर आप समझ नहीं रहे हैं. सर मैं नहीं समझ रहा, समझाओ. He's like, रॉड इसीलिए है जैसे झगड़ा ना हो. मैंने बोला भाई उसके लिए तो मैं घर से दिमाग लेके निकलता हूँ. फिर उसने बोला मेरे पास तो दिमाग है, पर सामने वाले के पास नहीं हुआ तो. ये कौन है गांडू सामने वाला? आप वैगनार के हिसाब से रॉड लेके चल रहे हो, ये लॉजिक तो सबके पास होगा. तो फॉर्च्यूनर वाले के पास AK-47 होगा. ट्रक में तो बारूद बम सब भरे हुए हैं. वही बोल, रास्ता तो हमारा भी लंबा है. यही लॉजिक लगा के सब देशों ने न्यूक्लियर वेपन भी ले लिया, क्योंकि रास्ता बड़ा ही लंबा है. ये सामने वाला किधर पागल निकला तो ये सामने वाले के चक्कर में न्यूक्लियर वेपन आ गई. यही लॉजिक से, यही सेम लॉजिक. रॉड, AK-47, बम, न्यूक्लियर वेपन, रास्ता बड़ा लंबा है. हम तो शांतिपूर्वक लोग हैं, पर सामने कौन है ये गांडू सामने वाला, जिसके चक्कर में महात्मा गांधी भाई अपने लास्ट के 10 साल रॉड के साथ चल रहे थे. उन्होंने भी बोल दिया भाई रिस्क नहीं लेना, अभी कोई छू लेता फ्रैक्चर हो जाता है. रास्ता बड़ा ही लंबा है. मैं कोई नथुराम टाइप आया, मैं मारूंगा उसको. नथुराम का रास्ता बहुत छोटा था, वो रॉड के सामने गन लेके आ गया. वो रॉड के साथ चल रहे थे. कांग्रेसी ने बोला नहीं बाबू रॉड थोड़ा मैसेजिंग ऑफ हो रहा है, ब्राउन पेंट कर देते हैं, लोगों को लकड़ी लगेगी. जो भी चीज देश को आगे ले जाए. क्योंकि रास्ता बहुत लंबा है. ऊबर वाले ने जियो पॉलिटिक्स सिखा दी, बचा गया दुनिया में, खत्म. But I know you all still want some political comedy, right? Geopolitical is what? Nonsense. That you all can get from Treva Nova. Why me? I don't even think I belong on the internet. Have you seen the internet lately? Dangerous. Venomous place. It is just filled with thin people who were once fat. That's it. Now they are thin. That's it. Now they give gyan on how to lose weight. I'll be motivating you to achieve your goals. And to achieve your goal, dairy, cancel. Carbs, cancel. And never masturbate. अरे ये वाला क्यों था भाई? No, masturbation comes in between of the goals. It diverts your energy. Focus. Focus on goal. Don't masturbate. If you want to have sex, have sex. If you feel like having sex, have sex. But don't masturbate. Who the fuck is he talking to? If you feel like having sex, have sex. Who has that option? Sir, when was the first time you felt like having sex? When was the first time you had sex? Was it in the same decade? I'm not even getting into the person. I'm just questioning the timing. Want to have sex, have sex. Where does this happen? And this guy wants to snatch my right away to masturbate. He's doing an anti-masturbation propaganda. So I have to stand for your right to masturbate, which is a peaceful admiration towards whoever you want to masturbate towards, your call. Yeah, it has become political now. I have a slogan also. मुठमरी के लिए आजादी. What is the problem with masturbation? He's like, don't masturbate because your energy needs to be conserved and channelized towards your goal. What, you want to be Bill Gates? You want to go to Mars? What the fuck do you want to lose a few pounds? You don't have to masturbate because you have to conserve your energy. Conserving energy. 2 years you didn't masturbate. Now he can charge his phone from my cock. You don't masturbate 3 years. Yeah, you can charge a car from my asshole. What the fuck is this don't masturbate business? I really don't get it. I was once fat. I was 150 kgs. I came down to 78. Then everybody was just like, tell me now. I also want to do it. I've tried everything. Vegan, non-vegan, dairy, non-dairy. Yoga, non-yoga. Tell me now. Tell me now. And I'm like, सब कुछ हो गया. अभी मेरे बताने से क्या होगा? They were always asking, how did you... I had to gain 12 kgs just to change the topic. Then they were like, you've gained a little bit weight. I said, yeah, I have. Too much weight is too much. These people who want to lose weight, they are following these motivational speakers who are taking masturbation away to achieve goals. I know UPSC ranked number 1. I asked him, what did you do in the morning of the Viva? He said, yeah, masturbation is the most harmless sexual act one can do. Not in public, in bathroom. If you don't have bathroom, go to a mall bathroom, no problem. There's Mozart playing, you can masturbate to that. Go masturbate. At worst, you'll give somebody hiccups. That's okay. They'll have water, no problem. Masturbation is such a creative act. It's so creative. This is the first time a 13, 14-year-old can get creative. Go in the bathroom, become an actor, director, producer, writer. Even lyrics, depending on how much his fetish is there. There can be a song in the middle. Panchi nadiya pavan ke jhog. Like, it's masturbate. Apparently, this action is not family friendly. Huh? This is not family friendly. This is Ludo with families. But throwing a dice to strip someone's wife is mythology. Watch that with your family. Indian society, the living hypocrisy of it. One guy told me, "You want to be best comedian in India?" I said, "No." Why? He said, "But I can tell you only one thing, and if you do that one thing, you will be best comedian in India." I said, "No." He said, "यार मैं तैयार करके लाऊं, सुन तो ले यार." And I was like, "बता गांडू, बता." He said, "यार अगर तू अपने सेट में गाली नहीं देगा ना, everybody will be okay sharing it on WhatsApp. Everybody okay share it to the family. Everybody okay share it to office group. Everybody okay share it everywhere. गाली हटा दे, खत्म. You are funny without abuses. I know." I said, "अबे लौड़े, I know." गाली में देता हूँ emphasis के लिए. Punctuation. It works. तू दे गाली, देख तेरी लाइफ सुधर जाएगी. बॉस के पास जा रहा है पीपीटी लेके, "Sir, I've got the PPT. How was your weekend, sir?" PPT. Boss is looking on his phone, cheating on his wife, whatever the fuck bosses do. He's like, "PPT, PPT." एक बार उसके बीच में बोल रहा, "अबे लौड़े देखना यार." No, sir, I was saying PPT is ready. Okay, PPT. I'll get back to you. गाली, attention ले लेती है गाली. Got your attention. अगर बच्चन जी पोलियो के एड में आके बोलते हैं, "लोड़ो, लगा लो टीका, लगा लो टीका, लगाओ टीका, अभी लगाओ." अबे लौड़े सुन, लगा टीका, लगा. 2 साल पहले खत्म होता पोलियो. बाप को लेके जाता मैं अपने, "चलो पापा टीका लगा." अरे बच्चन जी ने लोड़ो बोल दिया, बचा क्या है दुनिया में, आ जाओ अभी. बाप पोएट है, बच्चा लौड़े बोल रहा है, चले अभी खत्म करते हैं. Emphasis. Attention ले लेती है गाली लोगों का. I can tell you the scenarios of war in India. The other day I was smoking a cigarette at a pawn shop and there was traffic jam. Ambulance was stuck in the jam. Ambulance was doing pew 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 beep beep pew 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 beep beep pew 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 beep beep. One guy came from behind. He thought ambulance is not taking ambulance seriously. He started honking at the ambulance. He was like beep 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 beep. And I can see the problem is one car is parked in such a way that an ambulance can't go. And an ambulance can't go, then this L&T employee can't go. So both of them are stuck. This L&T employee took the lead because engineers are always forward. He got out of the car and he was like, "Abbe laude! Gaadi hata! Hata gaadi!" There was one lady, poor lady with an alto. She turned around and she was like, "Excuse me, you're talking to a lady, okay?" "Abbe lavdi, hata gaadi, hata." Genderless. No gender. He believes no gender. A great guy. गरीब आदमी के पास इंडिया में बचा क्या है? गाली तो बचा, वो तो देने दो. The other day I was in an Uber going from Delhi airport to This time I didn't do the mistake of रास्ता पड़ा. I was like, no, this can. This time I was like, politics ही discuss करते हैं ना, क्या बचा क्या? मैं पीछे बैठा हूँ, भैया एक बात बताइए, सही हो रहा है क्या जो हो रहा है देश में? भैया अब क्या हो रहा है? हो तो वही रहा है ना जो हम देख रहे हैं, वही तो हो रहा है. हम लोग पर क्या हो रहा है? He's like, हो क्या रहा है? वही हो रहा है. सीता के पति का नाम ले लेके नीता के पति का काम कर रहे हैं, और क्या हो रहा है? एक ही योद्धा तू ही है, दुनिया संभालेगा. और लगे अपना आदमी है. अभी एक मर्सिडीज वाला 2 किलोमीटर दूर से हॉर्न मार के आ रहा है. पीप पीप मैं मर्सिडीज हूँ, पीप पीप हटो मैं मर्सिडीज हूँ, मेरी गांड के सामने मत आना, मैं मर्सिडीज हूँ, पीप 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 पीप. माय कैब इज लाइक, भैया कुछ बोले क्या? हम लोग बोलो ना यार, क्या मस्त बोलते. मैं एक सेकंड पेन निकाल रहा हूँ, फिर बोलना. बोलो. अबे दिल्ली में लंच चूसना है तो गुड़गांव से मुंह खोल के आएगा क्या? भैया बोल दिया, अभी जो बोल दिया. हाँ क्या बोला? मैं डेस्टिनेशन चेंज कर रहा हूँ, आप चलो मुंबई चलो. यू आर पार्ट ऑफ टीम कामरा, आजा. See, when you do mushrooms, you get clarity. I did mushrooms many times. I got too much clarity. And I must clarify, I don't endorse drugs. I don't condemn drugs. I do drugs. Safe position. These two groups can debate. I'm busy. I'm doing. Last time I was on mushrooms, I said life is down to 2 choices and 2 choices alone. One choice, be a landlord. Other choice, be a tenant. Game, set, match. If you want to be landlord, choose it. Focus towards it. If you want to be tenant, you don't have to choose. Tenant is good. Tenant to property, tenant to society, tenant to your opinions, tenant to your ideas, tenant to your body. Everything tenant. No stress. False ceiling गिर गया. Landlord is like, hi, क्या हो गया? Tenant is like, क्या लौड़े लग गए बुड्ढे के ना? I want to be tenant. I believe in idea of tenant. As tenant, you must respect landlord and his rules because it is his. My landlord came. He was like, हमारी पुश्तैनी, हमारे पुश्तो. हम like, हमारे पुश्त. हम like, आपके पूर्वजों ने ना, आप बोलना चाह रहे हैं. हाँ, हमारे पूर्वजों ने ये घर को बहुत. हम like, हाँ, 2 BHK suburb में. क्या 6 मारा है पूर्वज ने? इतना कर दिया, अब करना क्या है? He's like, हाँ ठीक है, वो रूम में तस्वीर लगी है, हिलाना मत. हम लोग एक सेकंड, क्या? तस्वीर मत हिलाना. सर अंकल मैं क्यों हिलाऊंगा तस्वीर? रूम में हिलाना अलाउड है ना? उनके दादाजी की तस्वीर थी. अबे ऐसा सैटरडे में हिला के ऐसा टीका भी मार देता उनको. हेलो दादाजी, Spider-Man. How do you find out there is no life after death? 2.5 years. Dadaji has never said thank you. That joke is fucked up for 2 things. 1, it's true. Second, I have to wipe it afterwards. Landlord was then like, ये घर में ना, ये घर में. पुरखो पुष्टो, हाँ जो भी है. बताओ रूल बताओ. ये घर में नॉन वेज गलती से भी नहीं आएगा. And I was like, सर यहाँ तो आएगा या तो नहीं आएगा. गलती से कैसे आएगा? ऐसा तो नहीं होगा मैं खिड़की खोलूंगा मुर्गी उड़ी होगी. मैं गलती करने आई हूं, गलती करके जाऊंगी. ओवन में जा रही हो 1.5 घंटा मैं गलती करती हूँ 1 घंटा तू गलती कर दे ऐसा थोड़ी तो सर मैं प्योर वेज हूँ नहीं आएगा मैं प्योर वेज हूँ क्यों आएगा Now you all think I'm lying to my landlord and to you all. I'm pure vegetarian. You guys are still not believing. You all think I'm the kind of guy who will eat beef just as an act of rebellion. Not at all. I used to eat non-veg, but then I changed. And not because of Netflix and all. Huh? This Netflix guilt mechanism is stupid. You switch on Netflix and Netflix is like मुर्गियों के साथ ऐसा हो रहा है मुर्गियों के साथ वैसा हो रहा है मुर्गियों के साथ and then you're like भाई मैं इंडिया में हूँ इंसानों के साथ कैसा हो रहा है भोसड़े में गई ये डॉक्यूमेंट्री मगा चिकन टिक्का नींबू कांदा अलग भेज खत्म कर गेम रैशनैलिटी से मैंने नॉनवेज छोड़ दिया उसके बाद मैं नहीं जा पाया और जिसको भी मैंने बताया वो भी नहीं जा पाया because rationality has its own game. Now I can see some people want to know, but I can see those people are already vegetarian. They just want a good argument to that guy they meet at the. How do you get your proteins, bro? You're like idli protein, और protein, और चाहिए protein, huh? But I quit non-veg and after that, whoever I told, around 150 people, we couldn't eat non-veg again. I'm confused. If I tell you, then I think I'll be enforcing myself. That's why I'm a little reluctant. But I can see some people, okay, let me just do this. How many people want to know why I switched to vegetarianism? Shout yes. Yes! And how many people don't want to know? Shout no. I always stand with minorities. This is how you must vote. Be happy when the decision doesn't go in your favor for that silent, quiet, half no, half yes minority. And this is how you conduct elections. You should know the result beforehand. Now, just to tell you the moral of the story, this was a political joke. I know you all still want some political comedy. To which I'm just going to say keep wanting. But on a serious note, I have to tell you something. This was my first comedy special and I really want to thank you guys for coming out. We are taping today and this special, to be very honest, is dedicated in the loving memory of Karan Johar's father. Like, see, people will be like, you are making fun of Karan Johar's dead father. I'm like, not at all. You've not understood the joke. I'm making fun of Karan Johar's living hypocrisy.
Swadesi 100 RBH 100% सच जो गुंडे थे कठपुतली दिखावे के अब मंत्री भाषणों से बढ़ती पब्लिक आपसों में लड़ती मासूमों को धमकी है ऐलान करके जंग की जो बंदे भेद भगाए हुए कैद खान में बंदी अब इंसाफ किससे मांगेंगे आम कितने दिन सच से भागोगे आप सोचो ये कभी तक चलेगा सोचो भले का हमें खुदा ने क्यों भेजा और क्यों इंसान लड़ रहे पाके सबसे बिल्ला भेजा और किसने बांटे मुल्क ने बांटे हथियार किसने उन्हें चलाते मुर्तू डालेगा इंसाम किस पे नेता के भ्रष्टाचार बढ़ाने साथ देते व्यापारी सरकार आतंकवाद के साथ रिश्ते सबूत दो पल में मिटते गवाह पैसों से बिकते आवाज उठाते जो मरे बवाल होने से पहले पर वो ना मार सके हमें उनकी औकात क्या है शरीर को अंत पर अनंत मेरी आत्मा है रोने का गया वक्त आवाज है तेरा हक इतिहास से सबक जंग में ना बहा तू रक्त रोने का गया वक्त आवाज है तेरा हक इतिहास से सबक जंग में ना बहा तू रक्त रोने का गया वक्त आवाज है तेरा हक इतिहास से सबक जंग में ना बहा तू रक्त
Most fathers hate me. That's okay. Look at my life choices. Look at what I wear. This is my life choice. These are not slippers. They are a way of life. The other day, a rich person took me out for dinner because the reverse would never happen. As we went inside, there was one guy with the suit and all, with all authority, who was sitting at the counter. There is that whole thing where he's like sitting there. He looks at me, looks at my slipper, looks at me, the guy looks at me. And then he's like, sir, you cannot enter wearing these slippers. I'm like, not a problem at all. I carried them in my hand and I started walking. Then he got super upset. He was like, sir, you certainly cannot enter like that. I was like, wait a second, boy. I'm Hindu. Talk to me properly. I'll make this into my religious practice. I have many gods. I can figure out logic under 10 seconds. And then you will be apologizing to Hindus for the next 3 years. I can see your architecture inside. It looks pretty Mughal. He's like, it's a Mughlai restaurant. I said, I'll change that. I can change. You don't know power of Hindus. I can change the architecture, change your menu, change your uniform also. And just for a daily reminder, I can give you guys these slippers. Then he was like, sir, enjoy your meal. I said, I'll enjoy much more than a meal. Don't tell Hindus what to do. Hindu power. See, this is a joke Hindus can't get upset at. So I'm even thinking, is it even a joke? It's a tricky time we live in.